So we went to auction and we got some really nice wrapped bales. Second and third cutting, lots of clover. A couple of these I pulled them off the trailer and I could just tell they were way heavier than the rest. I think they got baled a little bit wet. There's no mold in them and they were wrapped, so they kind of fermented. Some of them in the middle, they got real hot and they kind of caramelized. And you can see these guys are just going nuts over it. Because if you were here, you could smell it. It's got that real sickly sweet smell, like silage does. And what that does is it's extremely high protein. It's loaded with probiotics, and it's kind of already partially broken down in a sense, so they'll get more nutrients out of what's there on top of it. So yeah, they're gonna really enjoy this stuff. It's like candy to them. I mean, shoot, I put this bale in yesterday about this time, and I mean, look at it. They just tore it apart. This one's not wet like that one is, you can tell, but I mean, it's just super fine. Hey, don't break my hay bale ring, I just fixed it. Just super fine stuff. Yes, some of the best hay I bought this year. I mean, it just full flakes apart. It's just really nice stuff, and they really love it. They're just having a great old time with it. This is one of my favorite parts about having cows, is feeding them, which is good because I do a lot of that. It's kind of the big thing. But yeah, there was a bale here where this kind of manure pile is not that long ago. I think it was 2-3 days ago. So in 2 days they went through 2 of these bales and they left. There's 2 other lesser quality bales. They left those alone, and it got real cold and windy last night. So what I did was I took those and I just spread them out, and I got that big one over there I got to roll out yet. And yeah, we'll give them good bedding in case somebody drops a calf or gets in a bad way. They've got something dry to lay on at least. Yeah, this stuff's awesome. So I was only supposed to buy like 15 or 20 bales, and I went to auction and I saw this whole lot, and it was 48 bales. And I lost my self-control and I bought it all. But it was a good deal, and yeah, you kind of see it's just stuff. And you can just see them though, they love this stuff. They go nuts over it. They're just choking it down. So everybody's doing well. We're still on for a February butcher date. Bill and the new bull kind of sorting out who's in charge over there. Bill is on the right, the new bull's on the left. The new bull is coming up on 2 years old this spring. 2 or 3, actually, I can't remember. Either way, Bill is going to be retiring and going somewhere else. Where that somewhere else is remains to be seen, but he's going to get a new home. That might be in the freezer, who knows. Piper here, she's probably next. Otherwise, that brown cow right there that I'm pointing at, she's got to be somewhat close. Yeah. Kids in the background clearing snow and pulling sleds around, having a good old time. So sorry about the background noise, but wouldn't have it any other way. That's life on a farm. So the only bad part about these I'll call them silage bales, because these wet ones are silage at this point, is when it gets real cold like it's been, they actually freeze. If you just drop them in the field and leave them be, the cows can't actually get to them. They can't rip them off. So what you have to do is either pick them up with your loader and drop them a bunch of times and kind of get them to break apart, which, you know, with a big heavy bale, that can be really hard to do. The other thing you can do is kind of what I did here. I'll show you. You can take a Sawzall, a big long wood blade, and you just start in at the top and you kind of poke in and out of it. You try to just make a cut all the way down, then you kind of peel it out. And you can peel it like this and give them access to it, and they'll get to it and they'll start tearing stuff apart. And usually they'll start with like a cookie cutter section, a little quarter of it, and they'll cheese wheel their way around it, and they'll make good use of the bale. The other thing I've done in the past, I've done this with net wrap bales that get left outside and they get rained on, they get iced, is you just take an axe and you just start hitting it with the back side of the axe, not the sharp part, but the other side. You know, baseball bat or something heavy, I guess, and you know, just about give yourself a heart attack beating the crap out of it in -15. But eventually it'll kind of loosen up, and then the cows can get in there and they'll work for it, you know, make them work for you. But yeah, otherwise my advice is if you got silage bales and you don't want to do all that work, just save those for spring. Let them warm up for a couple of days above freezing, and they might be ready. So, all right, that's all for today. So I'll do a little video on some of the hay I bought. So I went to auction, and I was just looking for 10-15 bales, kind of get me by, and I ran into some of this stuff. I mean, super fine, pretty tightly packed. I mean, you can't reach into the center of those. I ended up with 48. They're all wrapped like this. The nice thing about the wrap bales is it keeps the color, and it keeps the nutrients. Like you can see the difference in this one, where, you know, this is what was unwrapped, and if you go back further, I suppose you'll see, you know, how green they are in the center. The sad thing about these bales is I know exactly, I don't know the guy's name, but I know exactly what field these came out of. I've driven by it, and I know this spray painting mark. That's part of why I went to auction to get these. It's just look how beautiful it is. And if you could be here, you could smell it. Oh man, they just smell wonderful. It smells like a spring day. Anyways, I bought 48 of these, and I got a real steal on them. I guarantee you that, and like here, I'll take you these ones. These ones, well, like right here, you can see right there, that got kind of hot. In fact, it's still a little warm actually. They got a little hot. Some of these, their bale a little bit wet, and the heat had nowhere to go, so it just kind of caramelized and kind of silaged part of the hay bales. This one's not too bad. This one I think I took over because, yeah, it's missing part of the wrapper. So I set these over here so I can feed them out, and they don't get buried, because if they're not wrapped, I want to feed those out as quickly as I can. You know, the thing that bugs me about the success of my purchase is I know the field these came out of. I know the equipment that was used. I know the first name of the guy who made them. And I saw these on Facebook Marketplace. And he had them for a price that was twice what I bought them for. And I'd seen, he made a couple hundred of these. And I'd seen these at auction, and I'd seen what they'd gone for. And I reached out to him on Marketplace, and I said, hey, I'm a local farmer to your area. I got beef cattle I'm looking to feed. I saw your ad for fill in the blank bales, and I'm not trying to take advantage of you, but I know what these go for at auction, and I see you bringing them there, and I think you deserve to make a little bit more money on these. But I also, you know, I can't pay the price that you have them listed for on Marketplace, which is twice what you're getting for at auction. I would like to offer you another, I think it was $250 more than you're making at auction on the high side. On the low side, he was making, you know, $3-4 a bale less than that. And I will drive up to the field with my trailer. I could take 12 of these at a time. And if you can load me, I will save you the freight. I will save you the 10% buyer's premium, or sorry, seller's premium at auction. Plus there's a flat rate commission of another $1.50 a bale for what he's getting them for. So I'm like, shoot, I'll save you $3.50 just in fees alone. I'll pay you in cash, which, you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, works out for a couple ways. And, you know, you'll make a little bit more money than what you would have made for at auction. And he replies, well, expletive. If you're going to offer me that, I'll just let them sit here and rot for that price. And I'm like, look, I go to auction. I've seen them. I know what they go for. They're not going for what you're asking for. It's not going to happen. You're going to keep bringing them to auction and you're going to make less money. Let me help you, make a deal on these. Oh, no. Maybe next year will be different. I'm like, probably not. So I went to auction a couple days later. I saw these. I bid on them and I won. So now I'm feeding him out, and I'm probably $5 less than what I offered him for. And I had to drive half as far, and he got to do all the hauling for me. It's just like, sometimes I try to help these old farmers out, and they just can't be helped. They won't help themselves. They won't listen to anybody. And they'll go to a place where they're getting their ass kicked, and they'll just keep going back. They'll just keep getting kicked in the teeth time and time and time again. And it really shouldn't bug me. Who cares? It's not my problem. But it does. I think as a society, there's a big danger when whenever somebody says, well, I can get it for a few bucks cheaper. I can squeeze a little bit more blood out of this stone. I think that's a bad thing. I think that causes damage in the long run for all of us. And I think that, I don't know what he's up to. I think it's just bad for all of us. I think it creates problems. It creates societal problems. And, you might not pay for it this year. You might not pay for it next year. You pay for it the year after. And my problem with hay producers right now, last 5 years, has been, when I first started out, I had 2 or 3 guys that were older guys, and they had the mindset of, look, we're going to charge you X price. That's probably $10 a bale, more than what it costs us to make it. It's good hay, and we'll take care of you. If you promise me you're going to buy 50, 60, 100, 120 bales, we will take care of you. Oh my goodness. Kids are out there on the 4-wheeler pulling a sled. They would always say, like, look, we'll take care of you. And if there's a drought and it's a bad year, guess what? We're going to charge you the same price we charged you during a good year. And if there's an extremely good year and there's 5 cuttings and hay is $5 a round bale and, there's hay falling out of our ears, guess what? We expect you to pay, that's right, the same price you paid before. And in this way, we all take care of each other in the long run. Well, I hate to say it, guys. None of those people are around anymore. And the few that are around, the same people that lived, they don't do that anymore. We had a bad drought 3 years ago, and there was a ton of people that I'd bought from, those 3 of them that I can think of, that I went to and I said, hey, I know it's bad. What's it look like? And they said, yeah, well, I know we said 40 a bale, but I want 85. I want 75. I want 80. And I just told them, I can't do that. So I hit up the old marketplace and I found some stuff, and I spent more than I wanted to, but I did significantly better than $80 a bale. It's really frustrating, but that's why I started going to auction, because unfortunately I kind of have to look after myself and I have to look after my own farm. And so far, the last 2 years, I should say like year and a half I've been doing it, I've had really good luck. And sometimes I feel guilty. Sometimes I get a really good steal of a deal on stuff and I feel bad about it. But, as an old guy told me once, he says, we all take our turn standing on each side of the line. This year it's finally our turn to stand on the right side of the line. And, he's right. It's farming, ups and downs. But, just some ramblings. Hope you guys have a great week.